Dr. Kanya Greer and Lab Assistant Mary again, and today we are here from the Georgia Southern University Institute for Interdisciplinary STEM Education, Science to Go. So we are outside looking at all sorts of things science related today. And Mary, my question for you today is, what can you tell me about the solar system?
I know it has planets.
Planets. Is there anything else up there?
Aliens.
Aliens. Okay, do we have proof of aliens, Mary?
Maybe not.
Maybe not, maybe not. What about stars?
I've seen a couple of those.
Stars. Do you know, is our sun a planet or a star?
I think it's a star.
It's a star.
Hot star, right?
Hot star. It is a very, very hot star. Other things that are floating around in space is there's a lot of gases up there as well. And meteors and asteroids. Now sometimes those meteors come into orbit of a planet and they land on the planet's surface. And make
They land?
They land. They come crashing into Earth or planets or moons or Mars and make a big crater. But what I want to know is, how do they not hit each other in the solar system? And then how do we know how big the impact of that crater is?
Well, that is a very good question. That's going to lead us into our activity today.
Awesome! I can't wait. So, Mary, are we baking a cake? Very excited.
That would be awesome. And maybe y'all can do that at home. What we're going to do is look at the impact craters from an asteroid. So we're going to simulate an asteroid, which is a rock or your marble or a piece of aluminum, whatever you have at home. And then our setup is our baking pan, and any pan that you have at home, you can get, fill it with a bag of flour. Now make sure you ask before you take that out of the pantry. And then also we dust it with cocoa powder on top so that we can see the impact. And then you're gonna help me out by measuring.
Awesome. Awesome.
So,
Okay.
you ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
And we're gonna try this from different heights too, so we kind of see what kind of impacts they make. So are we ready?
We're ready.
So I'm gonna take my first rock, and I believe that this was Neptune. No, Neptune. He's blue. I believe that's what that one was. So my daughter helped me make these. All right, are we ready?
Do it.
Set, go.
Ooh. Okay,
That was
so
pretty cool. You want to measure?
I want to measure. Now, Mary, how am I measuring this? Am I measuring diameter, which is around the outside, or am I measuring depth, which is down in?
That's a good question. And we actually could do both. So why don't we give that a try?
Okay, so
Great.
just in case you guys wonder, I'm going to use the inch side of my ruler.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's pretty deep.
It is pretty deep.
So you may want to keep that in mind. Get a pretty deep pan.
So we are at 1 inch deep. Wow. And about 2.5 inches in diameter.
So is it best just to estimate, or do we need to be exact?
For this activity, I think we can estimate.
Okay, great. So in another great way that scientists like to work on different things is to track their data. So you might want to write this down. For each different rock, you can write down the measurements. And then just to get an idea, we're also going to give, well, my little measuring thing will not go that high, but roughly 4.5 feet, because I'm about 5'5". So as far as that height distance. So our next, we're going to try a marble.
Okay, let's do
All right,
it.
and I'm going to step up on the step. We're going to see what happens.
So when you step up on the step, did you know that your force and your mass is going to increase because it's going to take it, it's going to be heavier going down by the time it reaches the bottom?
That's what we're going to see.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Ready?
Go for it.
Ooh, I hit the
Ooh.
spot. Same spot. How did that
Same
happen? Let me
spot.
try another one.
Okay.
Okay. That's what happens with trying these experiments. Sometimes we just have to redo. Ready? That was better.
Ooh. Now that made a really nice, you guys can't see it, really beautiful circular, almost cone-shaped hole. Let's see, how far down are we going with that one? That is also about an inch, but the diameter on this one is only about 1 3/4 of an inch. You noticed that the diameter of that marble was much smaller, so you'd expect the impact crater to be smaller. A really large asteroid now. So,
Which is our planet Earth.
my question for you all is, do you think it's going to make a larger or smaller crater? let's see what happens.
All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
Woo!
Wow.
That was cool.
Let's measure this one.
That made a huge, almost a wave of flour come out of there.
So that made, it's almost 2.5 inches deep, but close to 5 inches in diameter. So
That is super cool.
that is a really large impact crater hitting. Now when these hit the moon and when they hit the earth, they impact the geography and the ecosystems around it as well.
So you can do this at home, and what we would like for you to do is write what you observe. Take your measurements, write your notes as far as observations. Like I just said, the flower went poof, so that can be an observation. Or it was like a wave of energy coming off of that impact. So what did you observe, and how can you do this at home? We definitely want you to do this outside for sure, because it's a little messy as you saw, but we want you to take and make those observations, track those measurements with the different size rocks, and write all that down and share that with your parents, share it with your teachers. What else do you think?
So another thing you could look at is, I'm curious to know, we did this with flour and cocoa powder. What would be the impact of these same asteroids hitting a body of water? We know that if something goes into a body of water, it displaces water out. So you could take a small bucket or a small pan and fill out with water and drop your asteroids into it and see how much water comes out of it. Is there a difference? Do larger asteroids or comets make bigger impact craters in the water? How big of a splash can you make? Think about how you jump in the pool during the summer.
Great questions. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can share all of that, write up your findings.
Yeah.
The Earth is constantly being hit by stuff from outer space, so now's your opportunity to go out and enjoy it and check it all out for yourselves. All right, Mary, let's
Sounds
go make a cake.
Ooh, sounds good. See y'all later.
Bye.